Alright, people, so I'm here with a live Periscope video going to talk about um, the build to Summerslam. And holy shit, has it really sucked. And it's not just Summerslam. I mean, it's really all the pay-per-views. They failed to build to the matches properly. I mean, if you look at all these matches that are on the card, you know, I said there's one match that they did a good job, or maybe a decent job of building to, and that's Ambrose Ziggler. With the exception of that, I mean, all the other matches, it's like they didn't do anything to make you more excited for them. They didn't do anything to really make it seem like there was heat between the two people. They didn't do anything to make it seem, like these matches are important or that you're excited to see them. I mean, let's just start off with Brock versus Randy Orton. I mean, I've been saying this forever, but you had Brock on Raw, Randy on SmackDown. How the fuck do you build to a feud, build to a match, without having both people on the same show? So you can't even cut a promo together. Balor versus Rollins was nothing good. I mean, they did the thing they focused on most was Finn Balor's name and how he's the Demon King. It's like that doesn't do anything for me. It didn't do anything. Okay, we get it. He's a demon king. Okay, but they didn't really build off of that at all. They just they obsessed over his name all day, and there wasn't really good promos cut between the two guys here. Like I said, Ambrose versus Ziggler, they did a pretty good job of building to that. The two people cut a few good promos. I would have preferred to maybe see a little bit more, but they did a good job of kind of making them seem like they hate each other, so they actually did pretty good there. So there's no big complaints there. And also, too, the people who are number one contenders for the two titles, Ziggler and Balor, I mean, they didn't do a good job of building people up. I'm actually a believer that you shouldn't just take a jobber and put him in the number one contender spot. You should, take some time to build them up and make them seem like they're worthy of that spot. But they didn't do that. So now you got a guy like Ziggler who hasn't done shit in this company forever, number one contender. And even Balor, he wasn't a jobber. He proved himself in NXT. So I'm not too pissed about that, but still, it would have been much better if they would have built them up first. Cena versus Styles. They didn't even have, on the last SmackDown, they didn't even have Cena and Styles cutting promos together or anything like that. I mean, yes, Cena put Styles through a table, but I mean, you could have had a promo or some shit like that. So, I mean, this one wasn't that great either. You had some shit between the two, but I mean, I thought they could have done much more. Make it seem like, this is kind of like the last match between, like Cena won one, Styles won one. Okay, this is the rubber match. But they didn't do that either. They could have made this seem very much like a big fucking match, an important match. They could have, I kind of like the way they were going, kind of making Cena seem like he's the guy who's been here forever, and Styles is a new guy looking to knock him off. But, I mean, they didn't really do a good job. Then you got Rusev, Roman Reigns. I mean, first off, this match, just looking at it, Rusev, Roman Reigns, they're both motherfucking horrible wrestlers with pretty much no talent whatsoever. I mean, Rusev is better than Reigns, but, I mean, still, they both suck dick. This match, they didn't do anything to build to it really either. I mean, they tried. They had Reigns have send a few jokes. Rusev's way over Rusev's wife, but I mean, still, it's not enough. It didn't do much to make me feel like there's it didn't get me excited for this match at all. And it would have taken a lot to get me excited for this match, knowing that Rusev and Reigns are both talentless fucks. Then we have Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. I would have much preferred to see Banks win the title at SummerSlam as opposed to just a random episode of Raw. But still, I'm looking forward to this match because they did put on a good match at Raw. but still, they didn't. Again, they didn't really do anything to build to this match. Again, I mean, they were wasting time with Sasha Banks facing Dana Brooke to determine whether Banks would or Brooke would be at ringside, and lo and behold, Brooke lost, so she wouldn't be at ringside. So they wasted a whole episode of fucking Raw on that, and so nothing came out of that. And like I was saying, there was no main idea coming out of this storyline. There's nothing to that I could look at and say, wow, that was really good to the build, or that really is making me excited for this match. The New Day versus Gallows and Anderson. I mean, they focus this build on ball jokes, pretty much. Which, I mean, it was funny. I enjoyed the ball jokes, but still, they have to do more than that. I mean, that's one good element you could have. I mean, a comedic thing about this feud, but you have to do more than just comedy. They should have built more off of it than just having ball jokes. You got Big Cass and Enzo versus Jericho and Owens. Basically, just a very bland, monotonous build to this match. I mean, nothing special. They just did the basic shit. And I would have much rather have seen Jericho and Owens versus the New Day. The Miz versus Apollo Crews. They didn't even do jack shit to build to this match. I mean, I don't even remember Apollo Crews and Miz associating. And then we got Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi versus Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and somebody to be determined, because I think Eva Marie got suspended. I mean, this match was just fucking thrown together at the last minute. I mean, nobody's going to look forward to this match. What a fucking waste of time match that will be. So there you go, people. I mean, the build to SummerSlam has sucked. I mean, SummerSlam, maybe it'll be good. Maybe we'll see some good matches. Maybe we'll see some surprise moments, some things we weren't expecting. But, I mean, still, they really fucked up this build. I mean... And I think, they only give them 4 weeks to build. I don't think 4 weeks is enough, because usually you have like a week or two to determine what the matches actually are at SummerSlam, and then you maybe have 3 weeks at most to build. I don't think that's enough. Maybe 4 weeks if rarely if the match is made actually before that episode of Raw, which usually doesn't happen. For SummerSlam, I think there should be 6 to 8 weeks to build to make it, first off, seem like a because it's a big time pay-per-view, so that you should set it apart. Have a longer build. I think all the pay-per-views are there's not enough time in between them. I don't think you have to have a pay-per-view every month. I think you could have one every month and a half or 2 months, because the builds to these shows have been sucking cock. I mean, they need more time, and they need to have a better creative direction when they're building to these shows. They should just make something, because the builds are like, you got this guy coming out and just beating up this guy for a minute. I mean, that's not a legitimate build to a pay-per-view match. You need to have tension. You need to, between the two guys. You need to have some storyline, some unique storyline that sets it out, that makes it seem like, this match is important. You need to have good promos. Yes, you could have some good brawls too, but I mean, I'm tired of let's say Cesaro comes out and just, distracts Sheamus from a match, and Sheamus loses, and that's the build for a week. It's like, that doesn't do shit. They need to have better builds than that. And their builds have been, and especially a build to a big the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. This is like the second biggest night of WWE in the whole fucking year, and they don't do shit to build to it. So I'm disappointed in WWE, like I always am. But I mean, what can you expect from a company that gives us shit 24/7? So there you go, people. There's another Periscope video.